Hi beauty fam, if you want to join me trying on some new makeup new to me and then new on the market, then keep watching. We'll be trying the Westman Atelier concealer, some Valentino products, a blush which is new to me, the Colorgraph eyeliners from Valentino, the new matte lipstick in this gorgeous packaging, Surratt. I ended up getting a new bronzer that was on sale, some SUQQU products as well, and the new Lisa Eldridge Liquid Silk Liquid Eyeshadows, the matte eyeshadows on my eyes. So if you're interested in seeing what I think about these products and trying them on my face, then keep watching. Remember to subscribe below, comment, and liking helps out engagement on my channel. And let's put on this makeup. I'm gonna try on some new makeup. Some are new to me, and then others I've been trying for the past week. So they're still new. They're not first impressions, and I'll let you know which ones, but some of them are first impressions. I already have my base done on my face, and it's the original SUQQU foundation. They recently reformulated and came out with the foundation, but this is before that they had the cream foundation. The first thing we're going to try out is the new Westman Atelier concealer. And this just came out, I think probably 3 months ago. It released on her website and now it's available everywhere else. I got this at, I think, Nordstrom's, and I don't know if I got the right color. So I ended up getting it in medium 4 based on the foundation shade of the stick. So when I did test that out a couple years ago, I was shade 7, and on the chart it said that I would be an M4. I have opened this already. This is my second time using it, but I didn't film the first time. So we're gonna film how this ends up on me today. So this is the packaging, beautiful as always. And that's what Westman Atelier is really great about, being clean beauty and luxury. The packaging is gorgeous. You can see the shade here, and then a little heart, which she is kind of like her signature. On the side, it says Westman Atelier. It's pretty weighty. It's definitely, it feels, I don't think it's glass, but it's definitely a weighty material. This beautiful kind of gold on top. It's 6 mils or 0.2 fluid ounces, made in Italy. My closest foundation shades are below, and what I'll do is do a quick swatch of this on my hand, and then I'll do some others around it as well, but I don't want to be too long of a review. Okay, so this is what the product is looking like. So this is the Westman Atelier M4, medium 4. I actually think it's a pretty good match. So what I'm going to do is actually put on this as I normally would, which is I would always put down Chanel Eau Gel as an eye, kind of like, it's almost like a primer for my eyes. I just let it sit there for a moment. And while I'm doing that, let me do quick swatches of other concealers I've been using. This is Kulfi Extra Alachi Kulfi. That's much lighter. That's actually too light for me, so it's more of a brightening one. Fenty Beauty 315W. It's actually hard to do swatches this way. Also brightening 310W. 310W. This is the Pat McGrath concealer, and I get them in LM 14 and LM 11, light, medium 14 and 11. And what I like about these is that they actually have a really nice olive undertone. Some of these, this is the one that has more of an olive undertone, and LM 11, which is lighter. It's my brightening one. Okay, so this is probably more true to my skin tone. If you want it for my skin tone or lighter, you want something more of a brightening, M3 maybe, but I did it based on the chart, so we'll see. I did use these yesterday, and what I will say is that no matter what, I don't think I've met any concealer where I don't have to color correct. So yesterday when I tried it, I posted it on Instagram. I'll put a picture here. I posted a picture of me using it without any color corrector, and it's still showing through my dark circles. So I'm gonna put some corrector on now, and this is the Natasha Denona corrector in C4, and using a MAC concealer brush. I love this brush. This is one of my first original brushes. Such a great product. I actually got on along with the corrector better than the actual Natasha Denona concealer. It definitely is pretty pigmented. There is a dry down. It's more of a natural finish, I would say, like matte, not glossy. Like some of these you can see are like super pigmented. There's more stretch to it. That was the what was that? That was Kulfi. This one is Fenty. And these are Pat McGrath. Definitely more pigmented with Pat McGrath, but definitely more full coverage. So I would say this is more of a natural finish. All right, so what I'm going to try to do is put some dots down like how I normally would. And the doe foot's pretty small. This is a pretty small package, I would say. It's very dainty and small. This is nice for travel, but actually it does have some weight to it. So I'm just going to do like dots. And then let me do kind of like a spread of some here. These are two ways I'd put on my concealer. I would say this is like medium pigment. It's not super emollient. It's almost like, I bet this is kind of the concealer where you wouldn't have to powder it down if you didn't want to. Okay, that's one side. Very natural looking. Very pretty. It's almost like it's got like almost a dry down effect. I do see some of my circles still. Okay, so you can see some of my under circles here. And yeah, we'll see how that wears through the day. Maybe I'll put a little more, but I'm afraid with like this type of concealer, it does feel a little thick. The Fenty Beauty, I really like that one because it's very thin, but it's very pigmented. This, I feel like the more you put down, it's gonna get cakey. Okay, just putting another light layer and just kind of patting this in with my BK Beauty concealer brush. Okay, any leftover I'm just gonna put over here. Okay, it's very natural. There's definitely some tack to it. I always powder down my under eye just because I'm oily. And what we're gonna do is, because we're using Westman Atelier, I'm going to use a Westman Atelier product. I'm using the Vital Press Skincare Powder, and this is in Pink Bubble. Beautiful packaging. It's that color, Pink Bubble. And this is just a Surratt brush. This is the Grande brush. I love this. This is squirrel hair, and I just tap any extra because I don't want any cakiness under my eye. And I use this when I'm like feeling like my skin's feeling dry or dry underneath the eyes. That looks a lot better after I powdered it. Okay, with the Westman Atelier powder and then without. You don't have to powder, it's just something I do because I have oily skin. But if you have like normal or dry skin, you know, feel free to pass on this. Day 2 using this concealer, I think it's really pretty. Is it like a holy grail, get rid of my circles and lines? I don't think so. We'll see. I'm gonna test it through the day, and if I remember, I'll do some spot checks throughout the day. I do feel like it's a little bit heavy of a formula, more than I generally want, because if there's something different if it's heavy and then it's full coverage, because then it covers everything I need to cover. But if it's just heavy and like pigment wise, it's not very full coverage, then it doesn't do what I want it to do. So it's very natural looking. I think, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be like a one I would wear to work, but it's like a nice natural one. Let me know what you think. Okay, I'm on the Westman Atelier website, and it says the medium to full coverage that brightens, blurs, and sets in seconds. Airy, supernatural finish. Yes, that is very true. It does feel like it's a very natural finish, and it almost does have like a, I don't know about blurring, but it does look like it's self-setting. So I didn't have to set it, but I just have oily skin, so I could tell that it almost has like a dry down, kind of like a powdery finish. Brightening, I don't know if it's brightening. I don't really you can tell me if it's brightening. I can't tell. What the thing about brightening, I don't look for a product that's brightening. I just go for the shade that's lighter. So I ended up picking up M2 because that's what it said based on my corresponding foundation shade of 7 with the stick. So it's a little bit, they're saying it's a little bit of skincare plus makeup again. No fragrance, non-comedogenic, dermatologist and ophthalmologist tested. I did build it up, so what you saw 2 different buildings of it because I didn't want to go in too heavy. What I could see with this is that you don't want to put too much because it does have a lot of body to it, and I could imagine if I put too much in there like a lot of YouTubers do where they like streak it on, it would get too heavy for my face. But I'll keep trying that and we'll check in after we do the rest of my makeup. Okay, so I'm just using a Sisley to powder down. I'm back after 10 minutes. I had to do something. Something I'm noticing about this concealer is that it does look a little bit like crepey, and it could be because I did powder it down. So I think next time I try this concealer, I'm going to try it without powdering down my eyes because I think the powdering might actually emphasize some of the line crepiness. Okay, another product I want to show you, which is new to me, but not a new product. This is the Valentino Eye to Cheek. And this is a dual use blush and eyeshadow. So I'll just be honest that I'm not going to use it for my eyes. The packaging is beautiful. And this is what it looks like. Very cool. Some people I remember seeing the reviews that they thought this was a little bit too light and plasticky. And I could see it, but this is still a cool design. So this is what it looks like. This is the mechanism for it to fly open, and you do have to push this button to have this open. So this is the Valentino blush. I still think the packaging is pretty cool. I do have the cover on here still, but this is the brush it comes with. It's actually in that mechanism right here. It's this little blush brush and it goes here. And I probably will never use it, but I'll keep it in there. The reason I won't use this on my eyes is that it has a smell. It's more of a light peachy pink. The shade I ended up getting was 08 Roman Sky. There we go, Roman Sky. And this is made in France, which makes sense. It's like, that's why it has like so much perfume. Yeah, it has like this light perfume color, but it has an iridescent shade. It's like a light peachy pink. So I'm using a Soft Cheek by Sonia G. I'm just pouncing into that. It does show up, but it's very subtle. And what I think of is like, it's a really pretty color, but also it just has a lot of perfume. But it is a really pretty color. And the thing I notice about this, the more I use it to, like, if I'm building up the shade, the more perfume smell it comes out, and so I just don't like it, like the perfume smell at least. I think the color is pretty, but not enough for me to like be wow. I think I can get a very similar shade from my SUQQU blushes without the perfume. So if perfume doesn't bother you, this is such a pretty shade, but I think the fact that it's like, it's usually the makeup and foundations made in France have a lot of perfume. So I would have loved it if it didn't have the perfume. So I just like this blush. But I've used it a couple times. So Surratt had a sale for a lot of their products, and I believe it was about 20%. Anyway, 2 of the products, actually I got 3 products, and I'll show you all 3 that I got. I ended up getting the bronzer, which is one of 2 bronzers. I didn't get the case for it because that was extra money, so I was just going to put this in a Z palette. Why I ended up getting it, other than it was on sale, is that it's sometimes hard to find cool tone bronzers, and it's pretty cool toned. The other reason I got it is that Surratt uses Japanese technology, so I was hoping this would be more of a slurry formula, and it is. So it's a really beautiful formula. I also ended up getting a replacement for my eyebrow gel, and this is the color Deep Brown. And then I ended up getting the Smokey Eye Baton, and I have to say this is way smaller than I thought it would be, but we'll get to that later. Let me do the bronzer. I'm taking my Niji Pro, and then I'm just going into this right here. So you can see it's pretty pigmented, so I'm just gonna kind of tap it down here. And then go in. And this is not a first impression. What I've been using this bronzer on and off, and I would say it's very, very cool tone. So it's very buildable. So you're not going to see impact right away, but it's really pretty in that it builds up. The closest I can see, it's like a more, it reminds me a lot of the Victoria Beckham bronzer, but it's that silky formula, which is Japanese technology. And I love that it's not super red toned. Okay, so no bronzer, and then go on this side. And that's the bronzer. I'm kind of over bronzing for you just for the sake of the video, but what I really do like it is that kind of like Japanese, really beautiful kind of, not slurry formula, but it's just that formula. There's a little bit of oil to it, so it's very silky and it's buildable. And I do like the cool tone nature of this bronzer, of at least how it's showing up on me. Okay, pretty. I do have to say this blush is so pretty, but the smell is so distracting. So that's the Surratt bronzer, the deeper of the two. And then I did end up getting a replacement for my eyebrow gel. And this is what I use when I'm like a little bit lazy of filling in my brows. Okay, that is what my eyebrows look like with filling that in. As you can see, it just is the lazy person's like eyebrow filler. So nice. Definitely look a little bit more put together this side versus this side. Okay, so I didn't dip my brush back in for the second eyebrow, so I'm gonna actually go back in because it looks a little bit uneven to me. Okay, looks better. Such a great product. Highly recommend it. Okay, as one other thing I wanted to mention about this blush, which I'm noticing, is that it has a slight glow to it without adding texture to my face, and I think that's why people love this blush and why I'm even hesitating of returning it. Like, I'm hoping the perfume will dissipate, because I do think it's a really, really beautiful blush. I think it's just like one that could work for people between light and medium tones and medium tan. So it's kind of like this beautiful peachy pink. I really do like it. It's just that I wish the perfume would go away. Okay, and the other product I picked up was the Smokey Eye Baton, which is a product I've heard about before. And let me show you what it looks like. So this is, it's like this brown liner on one side. Beautiful, and you can smudge it, which is a really nice brown color. It's like a chocolatey brown. The other side of that Smokey Eye Baton is, this is the eyeliner side, and then you twist the other side and there's a baton, and I think there's like a well of eyeshadow, if you can see the tip right here. And so you screw it, but then there's like a bounce, and I think there's some eyeshadow that's in this tip here. So if you look, there's like this little nib here, and then you have this. Such a cool feature, right? And then you can kind of smudge those together. Such a cool idea, right? Okay, so I might use that depending on what we do with this look, but I at least wanted to show you this. I've been wanting to try this Smokey Eye Baton. The only thing, I have used this once. I would say that I was disappointed in the size, so I don't think you're going to get much product out of that. So that was kind of something I was disappointed in, but we'll keep trying that out. So my lips are getting dry. What I'm going to do is show you one of the lip products that I wanted to show you today. And I ended up getting some PR from SUQQU Europe. So thank you, SUQQU, for sending me some products. They sent me 2 products. I initially asked for an eyeshadow quad because that's what a lot of you are most interested in. And so they sent me this PR material. I actually asked for this quad, and by the time she got back to me, she said both of them had like been depleted, both of the eyeshadows out of their stock, which I was sad about, but it is what it is. It's what is PR. You're at the best, whatever they end up giving you. So she ended up giving me one of the liquid fog lipsticks. And this is the lippy one. This is the one that's the more brown one. The one at the bottom. There's one that's pink and more brown. I ended up getting the more brown one because sometimes pinks with SUQQU just look like concealer on my lips. So I just don't want to have to work to make it work. Although I think it'll look pretty on someone who doesn't have like super dual pigments like I do. And then instead of the eyeshadow quad, she sent me one of the liquid eyeshadows, and these are like a special shade. This is like the one that's purple. It is shade 106, and I'll put a picture of a look that I did up here. So this is a swatch of the Lip Fluid Fog, and it's such a great formula. I have so many of these. So I'm working on my lip declutter, and I decided I'm going to do by brand, and if I can manage it, I'm going to actually try on all my lipsticks and then declutter which ones are old or don't work for me anymore. But SUQQU, they just do some of my favorite makeup, but also the lip products. I just know that these work for me. So this is ending up being like more like my shade of lips but better. And then showing you a demo of this. Is the first time I've tried this. This is like the liquid eyeshadow, and this is the one that's like the grape color. It's more like a cool tone, very smoky, super pretty. I would use this as a base. So I've already used this twice. What I know about this is that I tried it twice just on my eyes, and it's a bit too sheer. It's not super pigmented, so I would use that as either a topper or something to build upon. What I found with using this, at least with my eye shape, it creases because I have hooded lids, as you can see. So if you have eyelids like me, make sure to use this as a topper and then put powder over it, or use this as a base. But by itself, for me, it started creasing. But I'm not going to use it today. I'm just going to show you how I used it here. But I am going to put this on my lips now because it's starting to get dry as I'm completing my makeup. Okay, that's just one pass, and you can see it's kind of like my lips but better. Getting a little closer so you can see. It definitely looks brown, like a nudie brown. And I love this formula. I really don't generally like liquid lipsticks, but SUQQU is like the exception to the formulas. So pretty. Okay, so we're gonna just keep that on my lips because I need some hydration, and that's what I love about SUQQU, is that a lot of their lip products are very nourishing. And I want to say thank you to SUQQU Europe for the PR. I appreciate you sending me products to try on and showcase for the viewers on my channel. And then what I'm going to do is actually just kind of use my finger to just buff it out to make it more natural. So I could stop there. This would be like a very pretty, like, light makeup look, but we're going to continue. I think I'm going to try these new Lisa Eldridge Liquid Silk liquid eyeshadows, and I ended up getting two colors. The deepest one's more of the brown and more of a rosewood color. So this is not a first try on for me. I've tried these already, and I've posted 2 looks on Instagram. And let me do the quick swatches for you here. So this is the color, I believe, Gaia. I'm going to do a pigmented swatch and then one buffed out so you can see. So you can see how it starts to be buildable. These are definitely pigmented, and some people are afraid of like, oh god, it looks too pigmented. Well, if it looks pigmented, just go light in it. Doesn't mean like you have to use all of the whole swatch. I'm just showing you for pigment's sake what it looks like in the opacity. But I literally just did do two light dots, and that's what it looks like. And there were 3 other shades. 2 are like on the lighter side for lighter skin beauties, and I think there was one, maybe Ione, that looked more like a gray taupe, and that looked really yummy. I didn't want to get all 3 that I wanted because I wanted to test these out, because just in case they were a not good product. So this is Thalia, and I'm gonna do it down here. You can see this is like more of like a earthy rosewood. It's really pretty. And then let me do 2 little dots here, and then you can see how it can be built out. Super pretty. Very similar, but I definitely have more, it's more of a red, a warm red, and this is more of like a neutral brown. I did a swatch of the Danessa Myricks Color Fix Nudes, and I think this is shade Nude 8. And I wanted to compare them below. So this is more of a neutral color here below. And what I can say, this is not our first impressions of the Lisa Eldridge products. I can say that it's an easier product to work with, and that it actually does dry down. So it's been probably a minute. What I'm finding is that this dries down easier or faster than the Nestamyrix. The Nestamyrix still ends up having some tack, and for my hooded eyelids, it just doesn't work. There were tons of creasing. So when I decided to try these, I was like, okay, let's see if there's any creasing with this. So what I'm going to do is do one eye at a time. So this is Gaia. And I'm taking a Sonia G brush from the Lotus series. And let me just show you what it looks like. This is just like 2 taps or 3 taps of the product, really light. And if you want a really light makeup look, that's it. You're done. Just bring some of it down underneath. So easy. Now if I wanted to build up, I could just tap it on as well, but I've also been just putting my brush onto the applicator tip here and then going back into where the mobile lid is to just increase the pigment. Okay, so that is that product, and I have to say a little goes a long way, and just using whatever is left over on my brush to bring it down here to smoke it out. And this is the way I've been using this product. I really like that it's really easy to use and a little goes a long way. So I do like this color. I think it's such an easy brown that can work for a lot of people. Okay, so that was Gaia. I'm going to be grabbing a rougher 1 and 2. This is Thalia on this side. This is the color that's this one here. And this one I found to be way pigmented. So I'm just putting like 3 dots there. And then using my rougher 2 brush. It's more of like a packer brush, but I want some control on this. See how it's really pigmented. Okay, I'm stopping there, and you could stop there if you want an easy look. And I'm just taking a clean rougher 2 brush and then buffing out the edges. And you could just stop there. And it's so pretty. So here is the Thalia side. This is the Gaia side. For my skin tone, you can see it runs a little bit more orange just because it's going to pull that way. This is definitely like a earthy brown red. It's so pretty. I like both colors, I have to say. No smell. Is there creasing? No, I have not experienced creasing on this, and that's what I was afraid of when I got this product. But she said it wasn't going to be creasing, and I've tried her liquid luxes. I have almost all the shades except for like 2 or 3, and for me, I have not experienced creasing with that product. So I had faith in Lisa Eldridge that this matte product was not going to crease, and for my experience, I'm finding that to be very true. Okay, just taking any extra I have on the brush, not dipping in, and then kind of bringing down any extra down here. And then again, taking that same clean rougher 2 brush and just blurring out the edges. Okay, so I'm not going to pull out as much as I did here. I just wanted to show you can build up something more smoky, or if you wanted something simple, this is a realistic way to use these products. Okay, so that's how it looks like just using the makeup in a simple way. I curled my lashes, and then you could just finish off with mascara and be done with it. Because I have Lisa Eldridge, her quads, I'm going to pull some of the shimmer shades. What is this, the Vega? Let's go for this one. This seems a little bit lighter. This is the shade Supernova, and I think it's a, what is this? A luminous shade. I don't want to use my hands. Let me just take a packer brush. This is this is brush 21 from Refer. I'm just using this. It's a synthetic brush. I want to see if I can build up control on this. Pretty. Okay, so that is with one of the shades. And then this one is Cinnabar, and this shade here. What is this? This is Lost Summer, and this is a metallic shade. And this is the first time I'm doing it. I just want to see how it plays well with her eyeshadows. I actually think I prefer them just matte, but I just want to demonstrate for you that you can use these as a base. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I think these are beautiful. I actually prefer them by themselves just because it's more of like a simple look for me. I just wanted to pull them from the Lisa Eldridge archive that I have. I have been looking for a liquid eyeshadow on the matte side that doesn't add crease to my eyes. So I'm gonna grab here, what is this? This is the Giorgio Armani eye tint. And I don't know if this is a straight matte. I'm just gonna put it down here. It's more moussey in texture and more, there's a little bit of gloss. So it's not exactly the same where these are like very pigmented mattes, but I think it's a different product altogether. I really like these because there's a little bit more, less of a learning curve with this. Like more, these are more goof proof, I would say. Whereas this, like the Danessa Myricks and Lisa Eldridge, I would say Danessa Myricks is a little bit more difficult to work with because it never dries down and it's so pigmented that in a way you have to know how to use makeup, in my opinion, well in order to how to use this product. Armani, the eye tint is more goof proof of like, you're not a makeup aficionado, like you're intimidated by makeup, get the eye tints. But the Lisa Eldridge are a nice kind of in between, like you can see how pigmented it can get versus just buffing it out. So if you are wanting a more dramatic look and smoke it out, you certainly can. These Valentino Colorgraph eyeliners. I've been using these. These are not new to me, but new for me, showing you. One side has a brush and the other side it has this kind of gel liner, and they came with boring colors like the brown and black, but of course I got the colorful ones. This is the purple, this is the fuchsia pink one, this is the green, and this is the blue one. I love these liners. These are very fun. Someone asked me if there was glitter in there. I would say they're more of a shimmer shade. I don't really see glitter in them. They remind me a little bit of the Victoria Beckham gel, the Kajal liners, except less oily and less emollient, which I prefer because these don't smudge and smear all over my eyes as much because I have oily lids. So I've used these products already. I love them. I have been always looking for bright, fun colors, and the only equivalent I could find were Urban Decay, and I really loathe that product. I used to have Urban Decay bright eyeliners, and you all know which ones I'm talking about. I just don't like them because they were impossible to take off. And these are fine coming off. You just need like an oil cleanser on your eyes. But yeah, I've used these a whole bunch. But let me see which one I'm going to use today. Okay, I think I'm going to use blue for this side because it's just a nice kind of contrast color. And you can see how like emollient that is. Okay, so that is the blue one, and I took off the cap for the smudging mechanism. It's more of a brush, not a sponge tip. Some people might like that, but I've been using it, it's fine. What's nice about this tip is that actually you can wash it as opposed to the Kajals that Victoria Beckham has. It has like a sponge, but you can't really clean it. What I do like about it, see, then you can start to wing it out. So you do have playtime with this product, which I love. Look how pretty that is. So fun editorial looks, and then I can bring it down here, use that edge again. So I do, at first I was like, oh, I don't know if I like the brush. I'm used to having the sponge, but no, these are fantastic. And I love this blue. It's hard to find an electric blue and luxury makeup like this. So that is the blue for the Valentino. It doesn't come with a sharpener, but I actually have like tons of sharpeners. It's not easy to come to a point, but it's fine. So I'm gonna do this liner. Okay, and I'm gonna smudge it before it dries down. You have like about a minute or two before it dries down. But in my experience, like once it dries down, it doesn't move. Unlike the Victoria Beckham, it does move on me because of my oily eyelids. So that's the green one. I'm gonna build it up so you can see more of the product. And it's a fun green. It's like a green that actually shows up on me. Some companies like luxury, they're afraid to use like a nice bright green because they use more like an olive green or a khaki green, and it's like really dark, you can't really see it. But with this, you can really see the green. And then I'm gonna go underneath. Lean it out a little bit. Use the same brush on the, there we go. Okay, the blue on this side and the green on this side. One thing I forgot to say about the Lisa Eldridge, these liquid silk liquid eyeshadows, these have lasted long time for me, like 8 to 10 hours. I've worn these to work and around town, and I have not had any issues with them. I did prep my eyes. I always prime my eyes with eye primer, so that always helps. But I have had no issues with these, no creasing. I love it. If she has another sale, I'm thinking about it. I might get the one that's a gray one. So I just want to let you know the wear time for my experience has been good for these. I really do like them a lot. Colorgraph eyeliners, I love them. They're so fun, these colors. Obviously you can see I really like colors, even though I like sometimes basic luxury beauty, but it is hard to find colors that pop like this. I saw that Hermes is coming out with some eyeliners, a whole bunch. Like they have like basic blue, and then they have like really bright blue, and then a teal. So I'll be trying those. I want to see how much they are because, you know, Hermes ends up being really expensive. So, but I am wanting to try like a couple of those when they come out. So you have this, which is one look, is really, really pretty. I really do enjoy the lip fluid glow. This is basically like a liquid lipstick, but this is a glow lipstick, and they come up with a matte. It's my one of my favorite liquid lipstick formulas. So beautiful, beautiful. This releases, I believe, September 26th from Selfridges. I wasn't able to review the quad, but for sure, if you're interested in trying the liquid fluid glow, I would try this. I have to say for this, I wasn't like super impressed. It's because it didn't have a lot of opacity of like, I think, let me pull this. I think of the liquid Lurixes or products like this. It didn't have much body to it. Like the base was very thin. So maybe that's the aesthetic, but I wasn't super impressed with the liquid eyeshadow. Okay, let's move on to lipstick. I also picked up the Valentino Spike Valentino Matte formula. This is such a beautiful like formula and packaging. I wore this last night. It says it's vibrant, matte, long wear, and comfort, and this is made in France. And so these are refillable as shown in the case here, and I'll show you just how beautiful this is. I got the shade 134R, and look how beautiful this is. I love the packaging. Look how hot this is. Not all packaging is done well, and this is done well. So it's magnetic, and I think I have some pictures I can put up here. When it came here, there was actually the icon was embossed on the top of that, but it's since gone since I've used it. It is like on the thinner side. It's like a small lipstick bullet, but I don't mind. Pull this out so we can see if it truly is. Yep. So this is replaceable, which is nice. There's a snap close, and I wore this yesterday. I went out to dinner on a date, and it was like a really nice size in my small purse, and I could find it pretty easily because of the packaging. I am curious if through time, if I don't put a cover on this, if it's going to get nicked. So we'll see. I might end up putting this in a lipstick cover because I love this packaging. It is so, so gorgeous. And this might be my favorite lipstick packaging of all year, of this entire, probably of this entire year, my favorite lipstick packaging. Okay, lipstick is off. This is 134R, and I'm gonna do a swatch next to, this is the SUQQU one. I'm gonna do a swatch like right up here. Different formula, it's a matte. something I learned from Lipstick Lesbians. If you don't follow them on Instagram, you need to follow them. One of the Lipstick Lesbians worked in product development, and she educated all of us by telling us like how usually products, if they're made in France, there's usually a perfume. And so yes, this is made in France. There's a perfume, much like the blush I tried on earlier. It has perfume. It does dissipate. It's not as offensive as this initially. Like, this is really strong, but I don't smell it anymore. This does dissipate. It doesn't smell any more after like probably 5 or 10 minutes. But look how beautiful that matte lipstick is. And what I look for in matte lipsticks is the opacity, pigment. Does it make my lips look dry and have lines? And so let me get up close so you can see. Okay, so we are up close and personal, and those are my lips. So what I'm looking at is that it does cover most of my pigment. I did use a brown liner if I wanted kind of more contrast for an evening look, which I did yesterday. But it's such a gorgeous formula. Beautiful, beautiful color, 134. It's the perfect brown, pink combination for my skin tone. I love it. And I try on a lot of lipsticks, but this is really beautiful. Okay, so how does this compare to the recent Hermes that I tried on? Well, the Hermes ones are like a light matte. Those ones are a little bit emollient. You can see there's a little bit of shine, where this is more of a traditional matte, and there's almost like I want to say a blurring quality to it, which is kind of like French girl chic, whatever they call it, a trend, but I think it's really beautiful. So this is ranking up there with my favorite packaging this year, and also it could be the favorite formula. I'm interested to see that. I think most of the other colors were reds and pinks, so this is the one I got that was like more browny pink, and I love this color. Tell me what you think. My favorite thing that I've bought really out of this entire collection is this Valentino lipstick. I am just a sucker for lipsticks, but moreover, this packaging is gorgeous. It's like a matte gold. The packaging is heavy, but not too heavy that you don't want it in your purse. I love the magnetic snap close, and I just think it's so elegant looking, so beautiful. And moreover, the color perfect for my skin tone. This is just a me color, and the formula gorgeous. I did overline and use Lisa Eldridge Enhance and Define 2N for my lip pencil yesterday. It went out to dinner. It stayed on. I just had to reapply on the middle part, but pretty much my lipstick stayed on during dinner, which I had like sushi. There was like soy sauce all over the place, but yeah, this stayed on, but it's definitely very pigmented. Okay, beauty fam, I hope that was fun doing a get ready with me. Remember to subscribe, comment, and like below. Helps me out engagement on my channel. All affiliate links of all the products I talked about and used today will be below if you'd like to support my channel. I do get a little bit of a commission that does not be passed on to you, but it's already built into the price that I get paid out. Do shop my links if you'd like to support my channel. Take care, bye.